Hi guys, this is Katanya Taylor from KatanyaTaylor.com, Doctor of Oriental Medicine, and if you are in my program, this is for you. You are in week 2 right now, and I wanted to give you some great ideas for a snack to make with dates, using dates as the natural alternative to sweetener. You could also do this with honey, but this particular recipe is with dates. So we are going to make energy balls with dates. Now this recipe does call for nuts, so if you're allergic to nuts, we'll have to figure out a substitute for that, but I don't know of one right now. So this does contain nuts, any nut of your choice. So let me show you what I'm doing. So the recipe I'm using calls for 2 cups of dry nuts. It actually says walnuts, but it can be any nuts or seeds. Now what I decided to do, because I don't actually have any nuts, and I also find that nut butters are much easier, I went with raw almond butter. And because it has already been blended down and has some moisture to it, instead of 2 cups of nuts, I went with 1.5 cups of the almond butter. And then it calls for unsweetened coconut flakes. These are organic and they are unsweetened. It calls for dates. And these are whole dates, so I needed to take the pits out of the inside. It calls for 2 cups of medjool dates, pitted. And then this recipe that I'm following from the internet also calls for coconut oil, but I'm gonna see what the texture is at the end, because like I said, the almond butter does provide some moisture and oil that I may not need the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. It calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So you start off by putting the almond butter and the coconut flakes in a food processor until they are well mixed, and then you add the 2 cups of the pitted medjool dates, and that is the process I'm at right now, where I'm trying to get the clumps out. Then I will add the vanilla extract and the salt. Here is my mixture so far. We've got the almond butter, the coconut flakes, and the dates in there so far. Now I'm working, it's kind of balling up and rolling around. I'm gonna keep squishing it back down. So what it's doing right now is it's working to break up the dates. So I'm gonna add the salt and the vanilla extract next, and then I'll show you the next step. So we're getting that blended up pretty nicely. It's getting sort of firm and balling up a little bit, sticking all together. I'm gonna add some chia seeds in here. Chia seeds are gonna absorb some of the liquid or any moisture that's in there. They're also gonna provide some fiber, and when they do absorb some of the liquid, they soften up and turn into kind of a gelatinous mixture. So they'll add a little bit of a gelatinous, and they'll kind of be a firming. When they cool down in the fridge, they'll end up being more firm and they will absorb some of the liquid. So these are a great addition. They're really high in omega-3 fatty acids. I just sprinkled probably about a tablespoon of chia seeds in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in. I wanted to show you how cool this is with the salt. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the food processor and just watch how the salt sprinkles in. Just by resting it up here on the edge there, it sprinkles in nicely and mixes in. Let me show you what this is looking like now, which is absolutely perfect. It's balling all up on the one side of my food processor, which means it's firming up and it's gonna turn into nice firm balls. So here are the finished little snacks on a tray with parchment paper, wax paper. And I just tried it and they're delicious. What I'm gonna do, just to do a little variety on a couple of them, not all of them, I'm gonna sprinkle a little more coconut flake on top. I'm gonna do a little tiny bit of coconut sugar just on the tops of each of these. And here they are, half of them with a little extra coconut flake. And I sprinkled just a tad of this organic coconut sugar. It's brown, so you can't really see it, but you can see it around. Just because I wanted to just add a little touch of extra sweetness over the top. These are really not that sweet. I just tried the batter, and they just have dates for sweetness, which is wonderful. I want these to be a high protein, high fat, low sugar, low carb snack for my kids. But you know, just to add a little bit, and when it's on the top, it just kind of gives that little taste flavor on the top. It's not even throughout the whole thing, so just a nice little treat on the top. Now these are going to slide into either your fridge or even your freezer. I'm going to probably start them in a fridge and then they'll harden, and then you can put them into little baggies, and you can keep them in the fridge for about a week, and they'll keep for quite a long time in the freezer. And then you take them out and send a few of them just for snack or lunch with your kids, and they love them. So that's it for the, let's see, what are they? Coconut, almond butter, energy balls made with dates. All right, guys, enjoy the program. Keep it up, and more to come from me at KatanyaTaylor.com. Thanks.